program at Nottingham University, and he joins me from Ningbo, China this morning. Welcome to DW. After years of explosive growth, car sales in China have been slumping recently. Put that into perspective for us.
Well, it's a natural slowdown. We had huge growth in the last few years. This was due to two things. One, there was a higher tax on the purchase of vehicles, and more importantly, China is now undergoing a transition from old vehicles into new energy vehicles, and so for the next few months we would expect a slowdown while both the supply, the government policy and the consumers will adapt to the new trend, and then we will see an acceleration after 2020, which will mostly be driven by electric vehicles. So it's a little similar to what China has been doing in other sectors, like the manufacturing made it slow, and now they're pushing for high-value manufacturing products, and the same they're doing with the car industry, slowing down on the traditional vehicles, wait a few months, develop the system, and then push fast for the new electric vehicles. That we will expect numbers that will surprise us.
All right, Beijing just announced last week that it would liberalize foreign ownership limits in the automotive sector. How will that impact the likes of Volkswagen or General Motors, which have been pretty well off so far?
And this is always a double-edged sword, because on one hand the Chinese government tends to limit joint ventures ownership when they need to continue to hold a 51% ownership, as has been the case now. Now bringing down this restriction is not going to happen now, it's going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years, and I fear that by then it will be too late, because by then we expect almost 30 million electric vehicles on the road in China, and so China will be by far be the biggest market. Let's not forget there is another important thing, that all car manufacturers in China use or produce electric vehicles need to purchase electric battery from Chinese manufacturers, CATL. So the likes of Volkswagen, which now enjoys a great market, has been doing so for the last few years, they need to be careful on how to play this new electric market, and then at the same time trying to secure this battery without which the car cannot move. And that's a problem that Tesla is having, how to balance the new possibility to own 100% of manufacturing of cars, but not being able to own 100% of the battery. And we know cars now are made by both the body and the battery. Very different concept from before.
And Michele, briefly, if you can, the Chinese government is obviously pushing heavily this issue of e-mobility, yet at the same time, if people have the choice, they still go for big gas guzzlers. Why is that still the case?
Well, we are changing. We have more wealthy, more affluent people are now becoming more green conscious, and we do see even big-sized cars being completely electric. This is, of course, a push from by the government. I'll give you an example. Shenzhen, one of the cities in the south of China, 100% of buses are electric. More than half of taxis are electric, and that is, of course, decided by the government. But this has a spillover effect on the population that, in a way, to emulate, to feel part of this China Green Initiative, they will be enticed to purchase also green vehicles. So I do not see that anymore. We have problem with the big oil cars.
Michele Garazzi, head of the China Policy Program at Nottingham University. We have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your insight.